Hey boys, how you doing? Divisional weekend, playoff weekend. Great start to the playoff season last week. Well, some of the games were very good. No shortage of drama in a few of the games, and the other two games. First one was a bit of a stinker. Hey Queef,
Hey, Mike.
how you doing?
Yeah, not too bad.
So,
Nope.
we have a new sponsor. It's called Neckin. No, sorry, you moved your head there. Neckin.
No, this way.
Neckin Beer, our worldwide partner outside of Myrtleville. So, hey boys, how are things? How are things? Yeah, we just we opened there with a bit of Bowie, one of the legends of music. We're after losing Lemmy, Bowie, and
Alan Rickman today.
Alan Rickman. Yeah, who cares? Not one of the greats in my book. So what's the news? Thanks again to Connor. We did a quick 40 minutes
Yeah.
uh, coaching carousel, all the moves, and nailed it. Was going on about Ben McAdoo for the Giants, and yeah, he was confirmed. Eli went up to Mr. Mara and said, "They don't want to." So basically, Eli got his way. Doesn't have to learn a new system again. And the other bit of news is then he's got Joe Philbin. So he's been on doing the old bit of gardening since that infamous weekend where the Dolphins lost their stones in London, and he's back on the job. Nice one, Joe. Any other news?
Is McAdoo a young man, or I'm not familiar with
He is.
a
I
lot of
can't
these
look. I
OCs.
just I can't remember exactly. He's in the OC job about 2 years ago. So he reintroduced the West Coast offense, dinky danky passing, as you might like call it.
Mm.
I can't remember where he worked before off the top of my head, so I'm not gonna bullshit you, okay?
Okay.
And obviously the other big major news, apart from like there's loads of coaching guys, um, on moving from job to job. That's par for the course. But the other big major news is that the NFL are back in the second media market of America, which is the LA. And Mr. Cronky, you wouldn't buy a used car off this guy because you couldn't trust a word of what he says. His famous words to St. Louis a few years ago. I'm a proud Missouri man. I'm named after two Missouri sporting legends, and my heart is here, and blah blah. No, as somebody said, put it very well on ESPN. There was been listening to a lot of American radio lately. The guy is basically a property dealer, you know, and the chance of pulling off a major property score in this Inglewood Hollywood Park development. They're talking about it's going to be massive, I would say. So maybe could be good. But he's talking about it's going to be a year long kind of a Disney World kind of a buzz or something with. They're hoping to get soccer games and every bloody thing there. It'll probably be great, and looks like the Raiders are going to be the odd team out, I would think, but they're going to be given 100 million, and the Chargers will probably follow suit within the next year. They've got the first option of going in with Cronky and the LA Rams. So I suppose the Rams, they're back in their home. That's where they started. They had 49 years of playing in LA before they went to St. Louis. This is now St. Louis' second NFL team that they've gone through in the last 25 years, whatever it is, since 1995. So, the Raiders have been given 100 million, and there's been 100 million offered to the Chargers as well. But they probably will take the loot, and they're going to play their games in the LA Coliseum, as far as I know. In the meantime,
Yeah, it said the Coliseum or the Rose Bowl hasn't been confirmed as yet, but one of those two big LA venues while their stadium's being built.
yeah. So Fair is fair.
Best of luck to them.
It all comes down to filthy lucre at the end of the day, and make no mistake about it. Okay, obviously there various other, as I said a while ago there, Ed Reed, the famous
Linebacker
we think,
with the Ravens.
with the Ravens of the
Yeah.
the 2000 Ravens, who was the bane of Belichick for many years, has taken up residence in Buffalo
with the Ryan brothers.
with the Ryan brothers. So obviously, there is actually a defensive coordinator already in situ in Buffalo. Rob Ryan, I think he's coming up. He's kind of gone to get the burgers at lunchtime or something, or
I think he's
get the drinks, get the drinks in.
officially the assistant to his brother.
Yeah, basically he's doing the laundry and all that kind of stuff. You know, Rex needs a new tracksuit or a new.
Come back when we preview the Seahawks game, but
Well, look, I'll ask you a question, right? It was absolutely freezing last week in Minneapolis,
Minnesota.
in the Twin Cities. They reckon it was between -15 and -20. Now, lucky enough, the wind chill factor, it wasn't that windy, so there wasn't that much wind chill there, really, was it?
They must have been giving out about nothing, so if there was no wind chill.
There wasn't that much
Fucking
wind
hell.
chill. There was no wind, in comparison to.
But it doesn't matter. It's the third coldest game in NFL history.
Yeah.
And, over the years, you usually see it once or twice a season. Matches being played in total white on snow-covered pitches. Now there wasn't one this year, but you usually see it at least once a season. But this the third coldest game in NFL
It was
history.
too cold for snow.
It must have been. It must have been.
Well, I heard somebody saying you knew it was cold because when the guys were getting tackled, nobody wanted to actually go to the ground. So it was all this kind of.
But you even saw the ref. The ref was wearing a balaclava. All you could see was his eyes.
So will we just get on to the preview, the reviews of
the reviews? Yes.
Okay, so first of all, review the Chiefs. The Chiefs weren't great, and the Houstons were crap, and 30-0. Thank you very much. On to the next game. All right, you happy enough with that succinct?
Yep. The
evaluation?
Texans bowed out in pretty cowardly fashion.
Well, as lads, if some of you should start following us a bit more on Twitter, because I was actually on fire on Twitter. Because
Shameless self-promoter.
I thought my one about Brian Hoyer having a bad hair day.
Oh, there was a brilliant.
And that's a bald fact. Those are the bald facts.
What was the one that Colleen Fox or Colleen Wolfe said on? Oh, there was a brilliant pun on Hoyer. American Hoyer story.
American Hoyer story.
Yeah, that was very good.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that one.
He was. He came out the
5
gates
picks,
and he was like a rabbit in the headlights. And the thing is, Brady came out then. Obviously the Chiefs are playing the Patriots this weekend, and I just did a cursory glance over Brady's press conference, and he was just bigging up the Chiefs, the usual waffle. Oh, in fairness, they have a great defense. Yeah, they have a good enough defense. They turned the ball over and they really made it count. They didn't. They were 7-0 up at halftime after 3 interceptions and a fumble at that stage, and he managed to cough the ball up again. I think maybe twice more in the second half.
Yep.
And if it wasn't for the Niall Davis return, which put them up to 7 points straight away, or I think it was actually 13 at halftime, wasn't it? They got 2 field goals on top of the of the return kick. So yeah, the Chiefs they're good, but they're not great. The Pats are lapping it up. So it shall remain to be seen how viable the whole Pats attack is. We'll get onto that game later on. So
Yeah.
we just the next game up was a classic.
The best game of the 4, I think, for excitement.
But I suppose at the same time, it was only the last quarter as well.
Mm.
Steelers were 15 points up.
Mm.
Going into fourth quarter, the main talking point up to then had been the obviously stupendous catch by Martavis Bryant, where he kind of caught the ball with his butt cheeks
Phenomenal.
and did a little
Absolutely
mini
phenomenal
flip
stuff.
at the end as well.
Yeah.
So obviously the dressing down that he got from Big Ben paid off, because he was prevalent in a few other major catches as well. But it was back to the same old story. Steelers just seemed to lord it over the Bengals. And I was watching it here in Pine Lodge with the Fox, and I mean, there was niggle. It was, as somebody said, it was like a hurling match between Tracton and Belgooly, going down for generations with the
It was
hatred.
it was the dirtiest NFL game I've ever seen.
Yeah, but not even that. But the crowd, like, throwing bottles on the pitch, and it was
Yeah.
just nasty.
Yeah.
Um.
Disgraceful, one might say.
Yeah, and then of course,
Disgraceful carry on.
well, do you wanna finish off the story of the fourth quarter?
Well, I think it was Ben got tackled by the chief villain, Vontez Perfect, and injured his shoulder. And on comes Landry. Was it one of his first plays? Throws a pick.
Oh,
To Perfect got the interception, wasn't it?
yeah, but you forgot the bit, like, they came back into it. AJ McCarron hit Green on a nice pass. They got back into it, didn't they?
Yeah, in the interim. But I was saying, but back when Ben went off and Landry came on.
Oh, Steelers just fell to pieces
Through the game-losing
Ben
pick,
came
what
off.
should have been the game-losing pick. They could have, just ran the clock down to, I think it would have been about 20 seconds. They would have had the ball back with no timeouts in need of the field goal. But Jeremy Hill takes the ball and tries to gain those extra few yards, coughs it up, gives it straight back. And Ben, like Lazarus, comes back on the field. Tomlin looks at Landry and goes, "There's no way this guy is going to get us up the pitch." So yeah.
And the thing is, Big Ben couldn't even, he was holding his shoulder, and Ben, he hides it well, Oh, I'm dying.
Yeah.
He's definitely up for an Oscar.
Yeah.
Or
Well, no, to be fair, it did come out that he had torn
the previous interception, he actually ran off the pitch into the locker room.
Yeah.
If he'd stayed there, he would have been a hero.
Yeah. Just acting the idiot.
Cheap shot on Antonio Brown, and then there's just like, this was real gas stuff. Then the guy Joey Porter coming on, the Steelers coach, mouthing off, and Pac-Man Jones getting stuck in, and then getting that flag. Next thing is 30 yards down. Looking at this, and the funny thing is, Patrick in the lodge was there. Next thing, he fell off a stool at the back of the bar, nearly fell into the fire. It was quite late. No, I mean, that last quarter seemed to go on for about an hour.
Yeah.
It was just never ending, and I was going, "Am I really watching this?" So it was like well after 4:00 when it was finished. And I remember trying to text you because I was buzzing. I was going, "What the hell is going on here? What's worse?" I thought that I was after coming through on my pick by 1 point, and I found out afterwards it was Steelers -3, so I lost.
Yeah.
Boom!
Yeah. Back down to earth.
Back down to earth.
Pac-Man Jones actually accused Antonio Brown of faking it during the week. He absolutely fucking clobbered him.
Oh, he faked it, and he says he's going to win a Grammy for that.
Yeah. What a fucking idiot. What an absolute idiot.
Not an Emmy.
An idiot on several
Not
levels.
an Oscar.
Yeah. A Grammy.
A Grammy.
Brown is on the ground, eyes rolling in the fucking back of his head.
Yeah, but he was whistling Dixie or something, was he?
Yeah. Singing a song or something, yeah. So, Pittsburgh, on they go to Denver. Next week, which we'll talk about later. So the first game up on Sunday was Seahawks Vikings. The as we said earlier, another ice bowl. The luckiest team in the history of American football, the Seattle Seahawks, for put the hex on Blair Walsh, missing a chip shot field goal to win the game. Unbelievable.
Well, the play of the day was obviously the high snap to my man Russell Wilson. And instead of, what most guys would do, just go down and take the loss, 25-yard loss, he said, no, where's my man Darnell? Is it our Tyler? Tyler, yeah. Look, I always get the Darnell Lockett, Tyler Lockett.
If you hadn't mentioned it, it could have been just a running joke,
Yeah, okay.
But you're actually genuinely stupid.
So
yeah, that was one hell of a play by Wilson. How do you miss a 27-yard field goal?
Yeah, but at the same time, hang on a second. No, there was a bit of a dodgy call against Cam Chancellor for the official for the pass interference call for Kyle Rudolph.
Yeah, what I mean.
I've seen it given, you've seen it not given.
And
obviously, he tried to make up for it on the next play and completely missed Kyle Rudolph, and he gets down. And that kicked the ball out from 20
but
yards.
He knew he was going to miss it.
Forget this laces out, Malark, because he was after kicking the previous one before with the laces out. From 25 yards, that makes no difference whatsoever. And he was lined up very far over on the left-hand side. And it was he went straight left. So the Seahawks go marching on.
Cam Chancellor said in his post-match interview that he knew he was going to miss it.
Yeah, well, so did I.
Yeah. Idiots. One next to me and the other guy on the Seahawks D. Absolute idiots.
Praise Jesus, as Russell always says. Praise Jesus.
He didn't thank the Lord
praise
in his
Jesus.
post-match interview.
Praise whatever.
For once. Okay, the last match then.
Did you see?
I want to firstly apologise to anyone who had a bet on the Washington Redskins. As I said, I don't endorse. You shouldn't gamble. This is why.
Queef, there's a lot of guys walking around now with no jocks after your pronouncement.
Well, look, if anyone listens
week
to me when it comes to gambling, then they deserve everything that they get, because I really don't know what I'm talking about.
And I did say to you, you're a Packers man. I was there looking at you going, you're a Packers man through and through.
But in the analysis of this game, the Packers,
I suppose
you couldn't have expected to see what you saw.
The whole thing is Washington had them in big trouble. The early safety, it was like the old days are back again. Rodgers was looking clueless. He was getting no protection whatsoever. And I think it all came down to Deshaun Jackson doing his usual clowning around again. He's a yard from the corner
that was disgraceful.
and all he had to do was stretch out and just fucking get the ball over the line. Instead, no, he's shuffled across and it's goes to the TMO, whatever the umpire, and they call it back,
And they can't punch it in
they
from 1 yard
They can't get
with
it
4 downs.
Yeah, and it's bah. And then the seeds of doubt were sown. The Packers, obviously, Eddie Lacy took his happy juice because he was banging it away. Coons is looking good, and somebody put the sticky plaster back on the outside of Devontae Adams' gloves because he was able to catch the ball again. And James Jones had
He had a couple of drops, but a couple of good
obviously,
catches as well.
he was angling the hoodie at the right angle to catch the wind or whatever. It was working. The boys are back in town, and Mr. Rogers had his mojo back. So obviously, my words about himself and Olivia last week went to his heart, and he turned up. So okay, this weekend, what are we looking forward to this weekend?
We're looking forward to all 4 games. Because I was saying to you earlier, there's 8 teams left, and I think they're the 8 best teams in the NFL this season, which is not always the case. You always kind of get a sneaky playoff run by a team that finishes the season 8-8 or whatever, But I think these 8 teams, every game is pretty juicy in its own right. So the first game up 9:30 Irish time, Saturday night. The Chiefs go into Foxborough to play the defending champions, New England Patriots, who are going to be a bit more healthy, according to the injury report. Edelman's going to be active. I think they're going to have Vollmer, Hightower back in defense. Amendola's looking good to be playing also. And the Gronk. So, yeah, no excuses. Brady also, who's carrying a high ankle sprain, is going to be good to go. The spread is -5. Patriots at home -5. So what do you think here?
Oh,
I usually make my picks beforehand, but I've been a busy bee this week, so I haven't had a chance.
I am
you're 4 picks behind with 7 matches to go, so I should really pick first, because if you pick, then I just have to stick with whatever you do.
Of course, you have to go first.
Okay.
That's the way it works. Whoever's is
now
ahead.
you were saying that you weren't that impressed with the Chiefs in the win against Houston. I could see why, but I thought they were decent, and they're going to be tough. Their defense is very good. Their offense
they're not bad, but they're not great.
Yeah.
They have a good defense, granted, but Jeremy Macklin got injured, so it's down to Kelsey.
That's a huge loss. To be fair, yeah.
Unless they can pull and they have been the masters this year of pulling guys out, and getting big performances out of nobodies, like the likes of Spencer Ware, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Shaquandrick West.
West has slowed down of the last few games, and Ware has been kind of their main gun, their main running back.
And Kelsey, in fairness, I've been singing his praises from the very, very start of the season. I think he cost Ladbrokes money again. He's just himself and the Chiefs have this anti-love affair, whatever it is.
All right, look, I'm gonna. It's hard to know what the Patriots are going to do here. Lost their last 2 games. I know they're banged up, and it's the end of the season. And
the Chiefs are going for 13 in a row.
Chiefs are
unlucky for some.
Chiefs are on a roll.
Chiefs are on a roll. They're going to lose.
I'm going to take the Pats -5. I think it should be. It's a bit low. Patriots to win by around 7. I'll take the -5.
So therefore, you want me to go?
Well, I mean, you don't have to, but if you want a chance at winning, you have to go the opposite, really.
Yeah, I really don't want to do this. I'll take the Chiefs. So +5. Yeah, you never know. I mean, Brady could be still injured. We don't know. And the big mystery is who gave Belichick the black eye. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who
we don't know. He
who
won't tell.
Who done it?
He won't tell.
And were you saying he walked through He walked into the press conference with a pair of boxing gloves. Is it? Or he walked into
Walked through the locker room with a pair of boxing gloves, apparently. I saw on
and he
some
had the shades on as well or something.
on some reporter's Twitter account. So that would suggest that it wasn't one of the players. So they were saying, someone said on Twitter that he was sparring, might have been sparring with one of the other coaches, and just took one. Seems like a likely story, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, if that is the story, why did it just not come out with it, rather than the usual? Or does Belichick just loves the subterfuge? He loves the game with the press, just taking the piss, just giving them nothing, giving them no information
On to
whatsoever.
Kansas City.
And to Kansas City. So okay, next game up, the Packers at the Cardinals.
Saturday in the wee hours.
Spread is
Cardinals minus
minus
7
7
at
points.
home. This was an easy enough pick for me. I'm gonna go with the Packers on last week's performance, even though they did get blown out here 38-8.
Packers
only
back, baby. Pack is back.
3 weeks ago. Rodgers benched late on.
Week 16. I actually watched a review of that match this morning, and I can't believe how much the Cardinals put a hurting on Rodgers. He coughed up the ball a couple of times, and he got destroyed. He got no protection whatsoever.
Yeah, he did in that game. But that's the last time the Cardinals actually played a game, because they didn't turn up against the Seahawks.
True.
All their players got benched at halftime because they were down a monster score, and they had last week off.
Surely Arians has them well primed now for this, and like
they'd be well primed.
The Packers aren't going to catch them on the hop.
They'd be well primed, but there's something to be said for, playing every week, keeping the.
That's through the old backdoor system.
Yeah.
So you're going for the Packers.
I'm taking the Packers plus 7. Yeah.
Okay, so it's an easy option for me there. So yeah, Cardinals to put up a number on the boys.
Okay, now the mouth-watering tie of the weekend. Seahawks go to the Panthers. It's going to be. This is a tough one to call. Very tough. Panthers with the home advantage have a 2.5 point spread to cover.
I'd love to know what the overs number for this game is going to be.
Yeah,
is it going to be?
It's probably
going to be a shootout, or is it going to be a door defensive game?
I'd say the line is low 40s. It's low enough, but I reckon. Well, what do I know? But I reckon it'll be a high scoring game. The weather will be decent. Won't be freezing cold.
The one question on everybody's lips. Did we get to this a while ago? I can't remember. Marshawn Lynch should be available.
Yeah,
I hope.
But in
Michael did all right last week, but he wasn't that inspiring either.
What conditions is he going to be in though? What frame of mind is he going to be in? He hasn't played in so long.
Yeah, that's the other thing. He really.
He's a bit of a head case.
He did need it. He's an ornery person. He's ornery. That's all I'm gonna say. Ornery. There's Marshawn's way, and hopefully there's enough of an intersection between Marshawn's way and actually helping the Seahawks at the same time. They don't always seem to cross at the same time or come to the same purposes, but hopefully this time they do.
Well, Cam and Co had the week off last week. Johnny Stewart's going to be back, I think, isn't he? There was no mention of him not being back, 'cause I think he nearly made the game 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
so
he should be back. Yeah, it's actually
they're full strength, I think, are they?
The Panthers have been very quiet in the last. I know they haven't been playing or whatever, but they're not seem to be making much noise. So they've been just going about the business, I'd say, getting ready. But I would say at the same time, they are secretly gutted to be playing the Seahawks. The Hawks,
I would agree.
The Hawks have beaten them 4 times in a row down in their patch. And I know Carolina put one over on the boys up in the clink, but that was like a late fourth quarter comeback again. Another one of those Seahawk like thing, which has happened this year. I think they've given up coughed up the lead 4 times in the fourth quarter, which is always their forte over the last couple of years. But it's just seemed to work against them this year. So yeah, come on, boys, you can do it. You can do it.
I'm taking the Seahawks.
What?
Yep.
That's
Just decided right there. +2.5. This game, obviously, this game could go either way, but anytime you can get the Seahawks plus points, you should take it. Because as I said earlier, they're the luckiest team in football. They'll always find
so you've
a
left
way.
me with a bit of a quandary here, now, don't you? Do I just go against you and hope to try
You've
and
gone
catch-
against me in the first two, so
Yeah. Do I have to? Yeah.
I also have the Seahawks back for the Super Bowl from a few weeks back. So
Yeah. Well, you listen to my words of wisdom then, and how wise they were. Yeah. Look, I can't go against my own team. Hawks, baby.
okay, the last of the divisional weekend. Steelers go to Denver. We have no spread here because it hasn't been confirmed that Big Ben's going to play, but barring he breaks his leg or something, I think they're gonna pump him full of.
Yeah, because I think
Painkillers.
that Landry Jones, he's
They might as well forfeit the game
yeah.
if Ben isn't. If
There's
Ben
no
isn't
confidence whatsoever.
playing.
Because I couldn't remember, is Michael Vick actually
Yeah.
injured?
No, he's injured too. Yeah.
Yeah, because at least Michael Vick, he could at least he can see him running for a first down or so. But
I think it's dogfighting season, so he's busy.
that's rough.
Yeah, we've no spread here. I'd imagine Ben playing.
To be
The
honest,
Broncos are going to be.
there's so
Broncos
many there's so many scenarios here about, obviously I think Peyton is starting for the Broncos.
Yeah.
It's gonna be I'm not that excited about the game. Are you?
Not especially. No, I don't think that Denver have any chance of winning the Super Bowl. They might well get there because the AFC is pretty weak. But I just don't. I don't rate. They're obviously brilliant on defense, #1 ranked defense in the NFL, but I don't have much confidence in their offense. I think the spread here would be around a touchdown. And I would take the Steelers plus a touchdown.
What's the story with Antonio Brown? He's probably not going to play either, I'd say, at this stage.
No,
is
he's going to play.
he is playing now.
Yeah, he's going to play. Yeah.
All right, so he didn't.
No, he's not that bad. No.
He's not getting.
He was faking it, sure.
He's faking it. He's not getting an apology. So from Pac-Man Jones, I think that was so nice of him. Like, if he's not playing, if his head
He hasn't been confirmed.
if his head falls off, I'll apologise.
It hasn't been confirmed that he's playing, but from what I've read, it seems like he will be suiting up. So we don't know about D'Angelo Williams again. That's a huge.
Okay, but well, you know what? No, I think because of the way the spread situation is and the way the picks are going, I'm not going to make any choice on this until Sunday. Is that fair enough? And
okay.
we will we'll
post it up on the
on
Facebook page
on Twitter and Facebook as well. Yeah.
if anyone really cares.
Yeah. Okay. So lads, as I said, look, follow us there on Twitter because there's always a bit of banter during the game times. And it just makes it more interesting rather than some guys put it up on the Facebook page there, and it's just I'm there with the phone. It's just a lot easier and more immediate.
And if you haven't done already, I know we say it a lot, to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're a bit low on subscribers compared to the Facebook page likes and Twitter followers and all that.
Yeah.
All it takes is one click. Just one click.
And
Please
support our sponsors, Rough Draft, Pine Lodge, and Neckin Lager. Get Neckin, the green beer, down your throat. Neckin Lager, it's for a neckin' good time. Okay, boys, is that it?
That's it. We're done. We'll talk to you next week. Conference weekend.
Conference weekend. And keep reading the carry down as well. We got our second article in there, and we'll just continue to play it out with our Gene Genie again.